Good morning, stamping friends, or good afternoon, depending on where you are. This is Jenny Harrell, and I am here today to share a card and a tag with you. So let me introduce myself for a minute while I make sure that the Facebook Live is working. I think it is, so we'll get that started. I live in the beautiful state of Colorado, but if you hear a southern accent, I am from Georgia also. So lived in Georgia a good bit of my life, so I've picked up a little bit of a southern accent, but that's okay. And I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I think, 16 years this August. I will have to check. It's either 16 or 17. So, been around for a while. I am going to share this bundle with you today. It's called Extraordinary Flora, and it comes with this big, huge stamp and 1, 2, 3 sentiments, and then a little line. I'm not real sure what people would, maybe you could underline your sentiments. I'm not sure. And then it comes with a special die that cuts out this stamp, or it cuts out this washi tape. So it is, I wanted to mention that some of the stamps that are cards that have been demonstrated have come from the catalog, and some have come from the online store. So if you see something that you didn't see in the catalog, then you'll know that that was an online exclusive. And online seem to be hanging around. You know, when it says exclusive, don't worry, it's not going to go away in a month, I hope. It might sell out and then they'll get more, but being exclusive doesn't mean that it's a limited time. But if it says last minute or last chance, then it is a limited amount of time. So this is on page 85 in the annual catalog. Has two, let's see, I think two, full page layouts of ideas. So many pretty things, the stamp, and it shows you how to do the die. So I'm going to give you some hints, and we'll see if we can make some cute cards and a tag. Well, good morning, Jamie. I know you've used this one, and it's very pretty. So, hey, Vicki, thanks for coming back today. Along with this, I'm using the Happy Anniversary stamp from Layers of Beauty. And then on Framed Scenes, I'm using an oval. Now, of course, all these things are changeable. You can make it be a birthday card or a wedding card, whatever you choose. Now we're going to make this card, but we're going to change colors. This one is embossed with the damask embossing folder, and this is the washi tape. So I want to make sure I show you how to use the washi tape. And the first thing you'll need is just a piece of basic white. I have not been using thick basic white. I don't think you need to, but and this looks to be 4 by maybe 6 1/4. When you look at your washi tape, you'll see why you need a little more than 5 1/2. Now there's 2 color families and 1 roll of washi tape. I've probably made 8 or 9 cards, and this is still a lot of washi tape. So don't worry that you'll run out. I'm not sure I'll ever run out. I don't know. We'll see. Because you get so much. So this is the first colorway. And it's kind of, I guess it's strawberry slush or melon mambo, and then some purples. And that is one stretch of it. Now, I promise you, you won't get this on your paper correct the first time. But it's okay because you can peel it up and move it again. It will, every time I've tried it, I've gotten a wrinkle in it. So let's keep it. It's so sticky. And that's why I gave it a little over 6 inches, just so you can, have some wiggle room. And see, there's a wrinkle. It's not bad, but you don't want it there. So just peel that up. And try it again. And then give it a good rub. And there's that wasn't hard. Now the next colorway is, it looks like that reminds me of Bermuda Bay, but I don't know, maybe it's Lost Lagoon, a little bit of Coastal Cabana. This is more bubble bath pink instead, and some purples. So you'll see a little, the new Darling Duckling. I think those little daisies are probably, but this is so pretty, you don't have to worry about, it matches so many colors. But we'll put that one back down. And we'll get out our die. And line it up. Now you really do need to tape this down before you run it through, because I don't know that you can keep it from shifting if you don't. I use Scotch repositionable tape, but you can use another, a brand of washi tape or those sticky Post-it notes. Just enough to keep it from moving. So we'll run that through the cut and emboss machine. I don't know how they did this with this die, but these just fall right out. Occasionally other dies will do that, but then some dies you have to, use your poker, or these just literally fall right out of the die. No problem. Isn't that pretty? All those little flowers ready for you to put on a card. I think they're beautiful. So what I've been doing when I cut them out is just put them in a little bag, sandwich bag. So I'll have them for when you're ready to make a card. I think this is one of our clear cello bags. I don't know if we even sell these anymore, but just, you could use an envelope, but then you couldn't see them. Oh, you could use one of our clear envelopes. But this is the I call it strawberry slush, and the darker colorway. We're going to use the other colorway. So of course I've got some here that has the purple. They're more purple lavender, don't you think? I'm not real sure. So we'll see. The first thing we're going to do is put our card out here, our card base. So the card base is the 4 1/4 by 11, and then we're going to use Coastal Cabana, and let me see, my measurements are hiding under my stamp, I think. And the Coastal Cabana will be 5 3/8 and 4 1/8, and then the white is 5 by 4 1/4. I like narrow layers when it's a maybe a special card, or but you know, if you like the wider borders, just cut your paper accordingly. Now, the Coastal Cabana circle will be a 3-inch circle, and this is a 2.5-inch circle. So we're going to run our front piece through with the damask, and I want it to be this direction. You see, and reminding you, if you want to make sure you get them straight, if it's something that matters, use that line to line your cardstock up. And then we'll run this through the cut and emboss. This does not, it's not a 3D, so you don't need the extra. You can just use one plate and your platform and the white part, and you'll get it. This makes so much noise. So now we have our pretty embossed background. Now, I did notice in the online store that there's a new embossing folder. You get two, and I think it's called Glass and Flowers. They're the narrow ones. Well, the one with the flowers or the roses actually looks beautiful with this, but I didn't notice it, so I had to order it, and it hasn't arrived yet. But I think it would look very pretty with using it with this bundle. So we're ready to put that on. As a general rule, I don't usually use tape when I've embossed, but we'll try this one. Yeah, it's pretty smooth, so. I hope, you know, those of you that work and weren't able to watch yesterday, I hope you'll go back and see all the presentations from yesterday. They were so cute. Now we're going to put just a little bit of this pretty iridescent ribbon on here, and just enough to wrap around to the back. I like shiny, so This is nice and shiny. And we'll put that right about there, maybe 2¼ inches down. Put our glue dots to hold it. Thanks, Jamie. You can convince people to get this one. When I first saw it, I don't understand how it works, but now that I know, it's probably one of the easier things that we've sold lately of the not the detailed stamps and dies. I hope they come up with some more ideas like this. Now we'll see if we got those dots in the right place. I think we did pretty good. And now we can put this on our card base. Oh, Angie, you need to get it. There's so many people have made gorgeous cards if you look on Pinterest and or demonstrators you might follow. I like to put a little bit of glue when I have ribbon just to make sure it holds it down good. Wipe that out. I think this would help me here. I have shaky hands today. Okay. Now we're ready to cut our dies. Mercy, I don't know. I didn't get a... There's my Coastal Cabana. And we'll run that through the cut and emboss machine. Gotta change plates again. Now we're going to cut a 2½ inch circle for our sentiment. I do still like to stamp first. Sometimes I'm afraid I'm just not going to get it stamped in the center like I should. So we'll stamp it and then die cut it. I usually like my sentiments a little darker than this, but it still came out pretty. Because it's a soft card. But if you were going to do a whole bunch of these, you could die cut your circles and then stamp all at one time. I do see, I kind of like when I have a circle in a sentiment, a little more room towards the bottom. And since we're going to fill that up with flowers, that's another reason to do that. So there, we are ready to get that put together. Put this in the trash. Now, Joy would probably put dimensionals. She loves dimensionals, and I do too. But on this one, I'm just doing one layer, and then we'll put our double circle on with dimensionals. She's so funny. I was watching her yesterday. I bet she has to order dimensionals every time. I always put one in the middle in case it goes through the mail. Don't want it to get smushed. If you don't like dimensionals, just don't put them on there. Now we get to get creative. You have all of these flowers, images. We can just start building. I love this one because it works really nice for a circle. This would look pretty too with a rectangle, a square, or an oval, wouldn't it? So we're going to put a little bit of Tombow on this side, and then we'll put a mini glue dot here so that when it hangs over the edge, it's got some support. Make it easier to get it in the envelope. All right, let's see if we want to use some of these. That's a pretty color, isn't it? This is like you're a florist working at the I think, I was just thinking about being a florist. If you wanted a sympathy card, go with the darker tones and not all the flowers, and I think you'd have a very pretty sympathy card there. What do you think? Now we'll use this one to go down here. Put a mini on this side. And I'll show you one of my alternates that's more of a fall. And none of these are fall colors because, of course, you can stamp and create your own without having to use the washi tape. I'll put this pretty branch. I don't know, this is not eucalyptus, but it kind of reminds, maybe this one is, reminds me of eucalyptus, the color especially. Okay, we'll put one of these. You can just fill this card, fill this up. But sometimes less is more. You don't want to go too crazy. Then since this is on dimensionals, I thought it looked really pretty to put some things behind on the first layer. So we can slide that one coming that way. We need some of our small flowers. Let's see where those little purple things. And we'll put those on with dimensionals. And snuggle, I call it snuggling them up. But I think this one, we'll put on one with a dimensional and maybe one with Tombow. Yeah. Kind of layer those. Just let it sneak out there. Isn't that pretty? I do love this, so we'll use this for our tag. A pretty little, I don't know, peony, rose, could be just about anything. So we're going to embellish a little here with the iridescent pearls. I think that's, yeah. I was so sad when pearls left, but these are perfect. So that was good that they gave us a good replacement for our pearls. If I can find a... Oh, here's my take a pick tool. Let's see if we can get these. Now we just put as many, well, you don't want to go too crazy, but we're going to hide these pearls among the flowers. Let's put one big one down here. No, I don't like that. If we can get that one to come up, we'll put it over here. That looks better. All right, there's our finished card. Now the inside says, for the extraordinary couple, because this is extraordinary Flora. And we're going to hope that we can stamp this straight. If not, you know, we can cover it up. I'm pretty good at that. Put another layer. It's amazing. And let's put one of these here. But you can certainly decorate the inside of this card. Now that's actually fairly simple, isn't it? So let's make a tag. We're going to use a piece of Calypso Coral and our punch, the lacy top punch. I love punches. And then I told you we were using the oval from the framed, what's it called? Framed scenes. And so we'll stamp that. Now for this, I am going to use Memento Black. I'm going to stamp it with love. Now, if you were making an anniversary card for your husband or something, you could use this with love on the inside of with love on the inside of your card. And we will put this on with dimensionals. We're going to have to use the edge pieces because I've used up my dimensionals today. Nobody will know. Just us. And try to get that just kind of centered. Now we can use that pretty rose peony. And of course you can let it hang off because this is not going in an envelope. And we need some greenery. Let's see what we can find. If we can find some more of that. I guess we'll use this one. Good thing is you can always cut some more. Now that'll look pretty. Because you got all that washi tape. We'll add some roses. For this, I like to leave it like it's, 3D. It works fine. For a package, I think that's great. You could actually put this on the front of a card and it would look pretty, wouldn't it? I don't know if we want to put, I don't want upside down daisies. Let's see. Oh, this will work pretty, won't it? I'll fill in right there. So the good thing is you can just play with this until you're happy with the way it looks. Very nice. Isn't that pretty? Of course, we need a couple pearls here. See if we can get one hiding in there. There's our tag. Now I'll show you on one of my samples how I fixed my tag so you could tie it to a package. I get all these out of our way and save them for another card. So there's our tag. This is the one we made today. This is one I made the other day, and my husband said, no, go with the blue. Then I played around with another card, and I made a tag with the Granny Apple Green. The iridescent ribbon, just cut it in half and make and it kind of even gets a little frayed look, which all that silver is so pretty. So just cut your iridescent ribbon in half and you can attach your tag to your package. Then, I told you, oh, and here's the card I made that matches that tag. And I mixed and matched Granny Apple Green and Strawberry Slush. Congratulations for the extraordinary couple. So actually, you're getting two tags here. I told you that you have this stamp that's large enough to use the die on. So I thought, well, we need some fall colors. What if it's a September wedding or anniversary? So I stamped this and colored it with Calypso Coral, I think, Lost Lagoon, Old Olive, and then maybe Darling Duckling, not real sure. And I haven't stamped. You see this embossing folder? This I only embossed. This is the one that has little flowers halfway up the embossing folder. And so I used that. And of course I put Winko Stella on there because I could. All right. Thank you for joining us today. Come back at 11 for the next stamper. If you have any questions on how to do this, just leave me a message and I'll be glad to answer for you. Bye.